your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, the past few days, we have more showers and storms in the area, and once again, overnight tonight, they should fizzle out a little bit more. We're still left with cloudy skies, and you've got temperatures that are still, in the most part there, pretty muggy in the 70s and 80s. 84 in Pine, one of the warmer spots on the map, 80 in Danville, compared to 76 in Champaign and 76 in Springfield. 78 degrees in Bloomington, which is where we have our roofing dog Ina, showing that we do have the clouds in the area. Wind still out of the southeast, up to around 20 miles per hour, and it still remains relatively warm and muggy over the course of the evening with cloudy skies, still a few stray showers and storms, and we'll talk about one more day of this before a much more comfortable air arrives. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
It's just a total shock of the unknown.
A woman who disappeared for several days has been found dead. At least one question remains. What happened? The last semester of college was turned upside down by COVID-19. So what should students expect this fall? There's living life in the fast lane, and then there's this guy, how he turned his passion for racing into a business in our town, Monticello.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
It's just, I don't know, it's just devastating.
It's the ending to a story no one wanted. A missing Farmer City woman has been found dead. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Donna Kelly was first reported missing on Thursday. She was 69 years old. The DeWitt County coroner says she died from diabetic complications inside her home. WCIA 3's Andy Olson reports the neighborhood where she lived is now coming to grips with the news.
People living on Green Street in Farmer City are used to it being a quiet and close-knit community. But the search and death of their neighbor, Donna Kelly, has them concerned. Police tape now surrounds Kelly's home, but several people I talked to in the neighborhood saw the coroner show up at her house Tuesday night. People who knew her described her as an animal lover. One neighbor remembers always waving to her on his way home from work. He's heartbroken after losing someone so close to home.
It's just a total shock of the unknown. I mean, something happens and she was missing for 5 to 6 days and nobody knew where she's at. I mean, it's really scary.
On Saturday, a search group of police and people from Farmer City looked for Kelly through the neighborhood and around her house based on a cell phone ping. In Farmer City, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
A neighbor told us they saw police search Kelly's house Friday but didn't find her. That was before their search around the neighborhood over the weekend. New tonight at 5, Champaign police have arrested a man they say shot and killed a man last week. They say Keith Baker turned himself in today. He's accused of shooting 25-year-old James Coleman near Gramercy Park Apartments on Country Fair Drive. Police say a fight broke out at a gathering in an apartment and that led to Coleman being shot. And anti-violence groups are trying to find ways to stop the crime in Champaign. Last night, a man was shot at a home near the corner of Ridgewood and Dogwood. No arrests have been made yet. We talked to several people who live nearby. They heard the shots and saw the man lying on the ground. Last night, a Champaign-Urbana group called First Followers held a virtual meeting to talk about solutions to end all of this. More than 100 people joined in on that discussion. The city of Champaign says that's just one of several efforts being made to unite the community. But there are challenges.
One might be a personal conflict, the other may be a group setting where a fight takes place, and the other just may be youth making some bad choices and decisions. And so finding one solution to fit multiple complex issues is very difficult.
Last night's shooting makes 50 confirmed shots fired and shooting cases combined in Champaign so far this year. A man was killed after a two-car crash yesterday. It happened in Iroquois County at County Road 1900 North and 500 East. Authorities say Christopher Benz didn't stop at a stop sign and hit a car driven by Felipe Arenada. The passenger in Arenada's car was pronounced dead at the hospital. His name hasn't been released. We have an update to a story from last night. We now know more about what happened to the pigs that survived a fire at a hog farm. It happened at Christensen Farms just outside of Newman. The lead veterinarian says the pigs that were corralled onto trucks were taken to an empty barn that is owned by a local farmer. She says roughly 1,300 pigs were in the barn that caught fire. They don't have exact numbers, but say the majority survived. No word yet on the cause or the cost of the damage. Taking a look now at coronavirus cases across the state, more than 1,100 new cases were announced today. Illinois' total is now more than 114,000. The governor says the vast majority of those people have recovered. But still, 160 did die in the last 24 hours. The death toll is around 5,000. Starting Friday, restaurants and bars will be able to seat people outside for the first time in months. And last night, the Decatur City Council took the first steps toward helping businesses embrace the new rules. WCIA3's Cole Hankey has more.
There are a lot of rules restaurants and bars will have to follow to implement outdoor dining. The governor's order outlines basic guidelines for how cities can handle it, but cities are also able to make their own rules. Decatur City Council members asked the city manager's office to be flexible and allow everything that the governor's order already allows.
And so we're still formulating some of those rules. More than anything else, I think the mayor and city council sent the message that they wanted the city manager and the staff to be as flexible as possible.
Businesses without outdoor space will have to have permits to seat people on sidewalks or in streets. No-cost permits will be released on a case-by-case basis. And the council even talked about shutting down entire streets for restaurants to use.
Where potentially you would close off both ends of the street and just turn the entire street area into a kind of an outdoor dining venue, if I can say, that multiple businesses potentially could share.
Reporting in Decatur, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Council hasn't made a decision on street closures yet. Restaurants that already have outdoor seating venues will be allowed to use those spots and not have to apply for a permit. If you need to get an ID or your driver's license, you'll soon be able to do it, but not all services will be available at driver facilities. Colleges and universities are already looking ahead to the fall semester, what it could look like with reopening Illinois.